All right, good morning, people. Today we're looking at NEXI. It's looking okay. The pre-market early on was a little bit spotty, not too much going on. About halfway through here, we see it start moving up from $1.74 all the way to about $2.04. It's back down to the 200 EMA right now. Hopefully this holds until open and we start to see this pick up some more power. We've got EVTL. Kind of the same story, but it started a little bit earlier on today. We got a move from 325 all the way up to 440 here. We're back down to about 355 right now, just between that VWAP and 200 EMA. TBLT, something we've played a couple days prior. It's looking okay, nothing fantastic there. Allo, same story. SGBX is same story. USEA is looking a little bit better. We can move that up past TBLT here. And then we've got SGBX and BRQS. And BRQS is looking okay as well, so we'll move that up. But we have a couple here that look a little bit better than the rest, so we'll probably end up playing some of these. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll just wait for the market to open here. We've got about 30 seconds. So we're going to go ahead and just draw some lines on things that look half decent before open. Nothing too fancy. This will probably be the last one. USEA. I think that's all we'll need. Yeah. All right. So market's starting to open up here. We see USEA starting to move up. Nexi kind of struggling, but we see a bullish candle there. EVTL is not really doing a whole lot. BRQS not really doing a whole lot either. TBLT last couple of minutes here has opened up a little bit higher than we expected. Looking pretty good there, but it is sitting up a little high on that band. SGBX not really doing anything. Going back to USEA, starting to make its move. So we're going to jump in on USEA. Or UC. We're going to go for a 435 entry. We're going to go for a 460 PT and then a 425 stop. So we're just going to give it a 10-cent stop there. 425 brings us to the bottom of the run here. So if we start to see this turn around and head down, we're going to be out. But 460 shouldn't be too hard to hit. It's just a little bit further up. Definitely doable. Let's see, USDA. Okay. USDA looking good. Another strong candle forming. EVTL not really doing a whole lot. Nexi also starting to move up. So we're going to open up a trade on Nexi as well. We're going to go for a dollar. Let's go with $1.88. That's looking pretty good. We're going to go for a dollar. Let's go for $2 here. And then a $1.84 stop. So we're going to give it a pretty tight stop. We're not going to give it a ton of room, but a $1.84 gives us just enough room, I think. We don't need much more than that. That's Nexi at a $1.88. USEA up to 460. That is PT. We can start to scale out here. That's USEA. Okay. Look pretty good. We got up to 466 there. That's basically what we were aiming for. Still have a runner in it. I still think this could definitely go further, so we're going to make sure we hold on to a little bit there. Nexi looking good as it hit 195. Not quite $2, but again, we're under $2 for the stock, so it's looking pretty good. EVTL heading down. We have USEA heading back up right now. BRQS not really doing a whole lot. We have Allo heading up. It is a $13 stock. We aren't seeing too much movement even with these three candles, so I'm not really too keen on playing that. And that's really all we have so far on the scanner even. TBLT. Yeah, we saw TBLT with a nasty drop here. Might be able to take a play somewhere down here. I'm thinking like maybe 265. We might see an opportunity if it's not going to completely break down on us. Nexi took a nasty drop all the way down to a $1.83 there. So if you didn't take profits on Nexi when we hit like 195-ish, you're probably stopping out. I took a little bit, but not enough to keep my average up too high there. So it basically wasn't really much of a win. But This does still look like it could end up being a good trade. We might be able to get in $1.84 here, or maybe even lower, maybe $1.83, and try again. I'm just going to call a stop on Nexi, because I didn't say to take profits yet on the stream or on the Discord alerts. And then we're going to go ahead and open up another Nexi trade, $1.08, try for $1.82. That's what we're ultimately aiming for here. And we're going to go for $1.95 again with a $1.78 stop. So we're going to give it a 4-cent stop again. $1.78 should be pretty safe. We thought $1.84 whatever was safe, but it definitely was not. So we're going to see if we can get some more out of that. We do have USEA here up at almost $5. We're hitting like $4.90 on this, so we can start to take some more profits here. Start to take some more profits. USEA, $4.90-ish. Because that brings up our average quite a bit, and we want to make sure we secure some more of that. We knew there was going to be a further push. It did pay off. Nexi looking good from 183 all the way up to 190 almost. So we're going to have to, fingers crossed, if we can hit about $1.92, I'll probably start to take some more profits again. We'll see. We're hitting resistance lines on USEA here, so we do expect this to come back down a little bit, probably for another push. So if we do end up coming back down to VWAP, we'll probably try and take another entry on it. BRQS heading down, TBLT kind of all over the place, hasn't really broken down as much as I wanted it to, but this might be a good opportunity to try TBLT trade anyway. About 270, I think. Yeah, let's try for about 270. Might get 271, 272. We're going to go for a 290 PT with a 265 stop. So we're going to give it a pretty tight stop. We don't want this to break down any further than 265. Right there. Get rid of that line. We're going to see if that holds. USCA back up. Minor dip. Definitely not enough to get us in with another entry. It does hit a high of 480 or 494 there. Nexi down quite a bit from its high of $1.90. EVTL continues its drop. Bearish looking candle here, but this green or this red one here was bullish. So kind of back and forth. Might end up making money on this if we took a play, but it's kind of risky at this point. So I think we're just going to leave it be for now. USEA does hit $5 there, 513. Looks like we're going to go for a run here, almost 520. This stock is going pretty nuts. Yeah, USEA got you worried there. Yeah, not anymore. I'm worried that we're not gonna stop or not gonna halt on this. I think we should probably halt on it. TBLT at 272, not a terrible place to enter. 270 was definitely doable there. So TBLT, that was gonna be about a 271, 270 entry. So hopefully you took that, and we'll hopefully start to see this move up. USEA 425 hitting a high of 525, sorry, with 533 at the high here. I don't think this is going to halt. It should be halting soon. I could be a little off on it, though. I don't watch halt levels. You could take some more profits here. We're definitely up another 30, 40 cents. I think that's definitely the smart thing to do. I think I'm going to take out most of it and leave a very small runner just to see how far we can take this. Taking out most of USEA. 540-ish, and leaving a tiny runner. We'll just see if we can get some extra money out of this. But yeah, when you go from $4.30 to $5.30 or $5.40, that's crazy. That's a whole dollar. We got a whole dollar out of that. So that was some good movement right there. Let's see if it can continue. I'm not sure if it will. EVTL with the massive green candles. Look at that. Nexi moves up to $1.91 here. That's about where we want to start taking profits on Nexi. So we're going to go ahead and say take some profits on Nexi, $1.92-ish. Might even get a little higher here. I'm not entirely convinced on that, but we might. So we're gonna take some money off the table there. TBLT is looking good. EVTL's all the way up at 370. We were at 340 and it hit 370 in 3 candles. Nutty. All right, so it's still looking good. I think it's got to be nearing a halt here on EVTL, so we'll see what happens. If it keeps pushing, I think I want to try a really tight trade on EVTL just to see if we can get a push higher on this. So we're going to try for about a 360 entry. We're going to go for a 390 PT and then a 3. We'll give till 350. So wherever you get in, you're going to give it about 10 cents. If we get in here at 366, we're going to be looking at probably like a 356. I don't think I'm quite ready to jump in just yet. So I'm holding off on entry. Let's see here. We're getting pretty low. We know where the bottom is. If we give it about 10 cents, we could give it maybe 12 cents tops. So if we get in at 350, maybe 355, 345 stop, maybe. Yeah, okay. Let's enter 355 if we can. If we get in a little higher, I guess that's okay. But ultimately, I kind of want the stop loss below that 200 EMA. Even though 345 is really close, if we could get it even lower, that would be super ideal. I'm not sure if that'll happen, though. USDA, that is why I got up this morning. Yeah, we were questioning it because there wasn't a whole lot on the scanner, but sometimes even though you don't have a lot, it still pays off. And today, that one definitely paid off. Nice lion. Yeah, definitely nice lion. EVTL is just kind of sitting around. We saw it dip back down to that 355 area, so I guess that's about where you're going to have to get in. I don't think we're going to get lower than 355, unfortunately, but we could maybe do a 340 stop if you want. So I'm going to go ahead and say enter 355 SL 340 on EVTL. Because this looks like it could potentially run out more, and I kind of need that stop loss down to 340. So that's going to be about what we're going for here. TBLT has not really moved up too much. We did see a knife right there, and it almost stopped us out, but it looks like it recovered a little bit since then. Nexi up to 194 there. We did hit 195 on a previous candle here, so that is, I'm pretty sure that's PT. We were aiming for 195. So we could go ahead and call PT on Nexi. PT. Nexi taking some more profit here, 198-ish. And we're going to leave a runner in it, but that's pretty good that we got all the way up to 198 already, and we're just hitting $2 now. That's awesome. A little bit more than I was expecting out of this, but it looks like we're having a day where things just tend to break out. So definitely having to take profits there, $2. We're still leaving a runner in it just because we do have a pretty good spot here, I think, on Nexi. 178 stop loss looks like it's almost impossible to hit at this point, so I'm not entirely worried about leaving a runner with that. EVTL down a little bit. We did hit about 370 out of it, but it's coming back down. USCA still holding above that $5 mark. We got a ways to go before it hits it. It was a nice pullback here for sure. TBLT looking decent. We can close down SGBX and Allo because we're not going to be playing those. BRQS as well. It looks like it, whatever the news was, couldn't have been good enough because it's dropping to lows here. Unless this is something that picks up straight from here, I'm not really sure. We'll leave it open for a little bit, but honestly, it's not looking fantastic. TBLT is not really looking great either. That bottom band's starting to open up and worry me a little bit more. I'm not really seeing this move up the way I want it to. We could hold until stop if we absolutely need to. You could take a cut early if you want. We are just about 1 cent off from that. Looks like we're going to be stopping out on TBLT. So let's ask TBLT. Okay. EVTL all the way down. Not looking fantastic there. Good place for an entry if you haven't gotten your EVTL entry. Definitely patience paid off there. Let's see if we can get a decent recovery out of this. SGBX, we could take a look at it again. I think I looked at this. SGBX. Yeah, it's not really doing anything. We're not seeing consistent volume. We're not seeing consistent price action. It's not something we want to really be playing. USEA bouncing off the 9 EMA. Nice, nice. Yeah, you know what? We could try another entry on USEA. It's got a lot of pressure, so we'll go for like a 5. I'd really like a $5 entry on it. We're probably not going to get quite $5 though. We'll say $5-ish. We're going to go for 550 and then a 4. Just give it a 490 stop because we don't really have much in terms of support around this area, and I don't really want to give it much more than that. We'll probably, if anything, hit that $5 area, and it could drop. And if it does drop, we have so much room that it could drop down to hit that VWAP at 475. We can't afford to give that a stop loss, so we'll have to make a decision around $5 whether we want to jump in or if we want to just leave it be and see if it's going to come all the way down to that VWAP. EVTL, nice recovery up to 362. It's not quite where I wanted to be for profits. I'd like to see at least I don't know, 368 again, maybe 367 to secure some profits. Nexi went all the way up to $2.03. Looks like it's on its way back down. We could be looking for a new entry here on VWAP at $1.91 if we get that. EVTL going back up, USEA moving back up as well. Let's see here. TBLT managed to work its way back up. It's looking half decent. This is looking like a major downtrend though, so I'm not really, I don't want to play this unless we can break above probably 275. And then maybe we'll see if we could take an entry on it. BRQS definitely not looking good. Hey, way to go, man. Das killing it every day. Stacking up those 2 and 3%. Nexi all the way back up, 201, 202. Maybe hit that 203 one more time. If we can break out a 203, this thing could probably fly a little bit higher. I think we ultimately have to get above, maybe if we hit 205, it looks like that's the breakout point. We'll see. I'm kind of hoping it does come down quite a bit, maybe to the 200 EMA for another re-entry, because we only have a really small amount left of Nexi. EVTL down quite a bit here. USCA still kind of, I wouldn't say struggling, maybe consolidating. QRTEB. Let's take a look. QRTEB. QRTEB is going crazy again today. Do we risk jumping in high again? Let's do it. Why not? QRTEB. We'll go for a $7 entry. We're going to go for a 780 PT and then a 6. I don't know. Let's give it 680. We'll give it 20 cents. So about 20 cents from where you get in. Of course, this is risky. We don't really have too much data on it other than, you know, sometimes the stock does go nuts. We've seen it before. We've played it before. It is near the high of yesterday, so that kind of worries me. We may be in a little bit of trouble with that, but besides that point, I think that this could potentially just take off. And we've seen this before in bull markets where something just like it doesn't really have roof, you know, like TCAP went from like $4 to $40. SGOC? Was it SGOC? I can't remember. There's Carve, there's a couple other ones. Okay, so I'm looking to get in here at 647. I think I might have just halted though. Yeah, too much talking, not enough playing. I didn't even get a chance to get an entry on that. Okay, well, I guess we're waiting on that. Let's get entry. I don't know if I'm sad about that or not. Did you take profits, Jackal? The 2-second trades? Man, I love the 2-second trades. Those are like, they get your heart pounding. Good, good. Didn't we have we had a guy that held something like way far down, and I was like, there's no way this is going back up. Aw, did you? That sucks. And then he held it. I don't know, I can't remember what it was. He was like averaging 250 or something on it, and then like No, he was averaging like $7 on it. It was, yeah, and it was down to like $2 or something. And he's like, oh, I'll just hold till it goes back up. And then sure as shit, it was like the next day it hit $7 again. I hope he exited. Can't remember if he did or not. I think he might have. Yeah, it did climb further too. That's right. Yeah. RDBX was a good stock to be taking that chance on, though. That stock was pretty nuts. TBLT, not really doing a whole lot. It is kind of starting to look like it's going to curl up here. Yeah. Yeah, right. RDBX hit like $11 or something, right? UCA is dropping now, so we haven't gotten that entry yet. We were waiting to see $5. It kind of just fell completely through. We are bouncing off that 490 level, so I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to jump in around that 490 level. UC about 490. We're going to go for 550, and then a 475 stop loss. Does that give us enough room? We have to get this at 478 minimum. 470 would be really ideal. That's tough. I kind of want to say 45, but I don't know if we'll get that. 550 and then a 470. So that's ideal. The ideal trade would be getting in at 485 or lower and then getting your stop loss at least down to 470. Looks like we might see a little bit more of a dip here, so that could be good. Let's see here. That's really not giving away, although we just saw MACD break down a little bit, so this could be good. We could actually get in pretty close to those 200 EMA if we're very patient. TBLT is starting to make its move. Now it seemed like I was waiting for 275, and it's 276 now, and it's so close to that top end that it's almost not even worth trading it. But I can almost guarantee it's going to blow through that band and head straight back up to the high. I just can't really justify it. It does look like patience is paying off here on UC as we hit that 485 level. I don't think I'm patient enough to wait any longer than 485. Especially, and I do that all the time where I'm like, this could definitely go down further, but if it hits this level, I'm buying in. And sure as shit, it always hits that level and I buy in, then it drops even further. And I could have had that better entry, but I don't because I'm not nearly patient enough. But you know what? I'll take 485 because that puts our stop loss down at that 470 mark, which is exactly where we did want it. Might not be enough room below that VWAP line if it does start to come back down, but right now it looks like that 485 was about as good as it gets. 503. 506. 513 there, looking pretty good. Nice recovery. EVTL not looking good. 346, what do we get? 347. It does look like it's breaking down. I'm just going to leave it because our stop loss is pretty tight. Nexi up at 209. What did it hit? I wasn't even watching 218. Holy crap. That's nuts. That was a big climb. All right, so we have EVTL basically looking like it's going to break down on us. You could cut anywhere here if you're in EVTL around that 4 or 345, 347 area. I would say if you got in higher than 347, definitely consider cutting. If you're 347 or lower, I mean, running into the 340 stop isn't going to kill us, so it might be okay. It might recover. It's looking pretty iffy right now. There's not a lot of room for error. UCA here up to almost 530 here. Looking pretty good. I think I'm going to go ahead and take some profits at that point. Taking some profits. UC 530. We've secured quite a bit of profit on that one already, but 550, that's the ultimate goal here. If we can hit 550, I think we might break into a new high here, which is definitely good news. So let's see if we can do it. 540. Happy to secure some profits around there. And we'll see about that 550 level. Next, he's starting to come back down. Still hoping it comes back down to VWAP here. We do need a re-entry on it. It's completely out of shares on this now, so we need to get that re-entry on this at some point. TBLT looks like it was a good idea to not take that play quite yet because it did only make it up to about 277. There was only 1 cent of profit from the entry that we could have taken, and now it's back down. So definitely made the right decision there. Almost stopped out on EVTL. Looks like we saw a couple bullish candles forming so far. Could be on its way back up. Nexi still has a long ways down to go. We're looking at like a 199 entry. And UC does not look like it's going to push past 540 right now. We see a lot of negative pressure building, but we see a lot of bullish buying happening. MACD still climbing, so could be good. Top band starting to close into. We're getting some mixed signals. We'll see though. All right, EVTL on a climb here. We're at 368. I'm going to close that out, at least most of it. Taking profits, EVTL. I'm not even going to type what price because I need to sell out. Hopefully people can see that it's up pretty good here. I don't even know what our PT was on this. It was quite a while ago that we took it. Let me try and find that. 390. So we're looking for 390, but we're not going to get 390 right now. Might start making more bullish push, so we're still holding some, but we want to secure some profits. Seeing how close we were to running into that stop. Especially around that 366 area. It wasn't huge profits, like 347 to 366. Could have had a couple more cents if I was patient. It looks like it hit 370 there, but it is what it is. You see it, UC heading down. Nexi still trying to make that push lower, which is exactly what I want to see. A nice drop here would be fantastic. QTES still halted. BRQS still not doing anything. I think I'm just going to close down that stock here. Nexi, EVTL, SGBX is also popping up on the scanner. Pretty high, so we can take a look at it. SGBX. I'm just not seeing anything here that I want to see. That's the problem, right? We're not seeing... There's like barely any range. There's 4 cents here. So really not worth playing. QRTEB, not really worth playing. FRBX, we could take a look at. FRBK, not EK. It's not even a letter. Also not looking great by any means. So I think we're kind of stuck with playing Nexi, EVTL, and USEA. It has a lizard. Oh, EVTL. Are they weak? Is lizard weak signal? I don't even think I have lizards turned on, to be honest. I mean, I don't have any turned on stocks. I just use it for the futures. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's going to go higher. Yeah, lizard is a buy, but is it a strong buy? I don't know about that because I don't ever see lizards. To me, this is not looking like a strong buy. Usually has a high win rate? Okay, cool. I mean, maybe. Could turn around. This looks like it's basically range trading at this point. We're seeing it go up to about 370, then back down to about 345, and then back up to 370. Probably back down to 345 for another potential entry point. Nexi making its climb. EVTL looks like a double top. It could be. USEA looks like it's going to make that climb. ES has a rhino. It sure does, yeah. Rhinos? I like rhinos and I like elephants. They barely ever steered me wrong. The only signal I've had so far that steered me wrong is there was a croc and I shorted right when I saw the croc and then it immediately disappeared and just went straight up. And I was like, well, shit. But besides that, it's been pretty good. But that's because I didn't wait for the confirmation before I jumped in. What resolution? Oh man, I couldn't even tell you what I have like 4 different monitors with different resolutions. I'd have to dig out the boxes. That looks like a color problem. I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it, but yeah, it looks like a color problem to me. I use 4 monitors, yeah. I've got 32-inch monitors. A single computer. I just use a desktop. EVTL might make a move back up here. Nexi still looks like it wants to go higher, but I'm really not trusting it until I see a break. I'd like to get in at like at least $2 because at $2 you can give it about 6 cents, and that gets you pretty low on that scale. So it shouldn't affect screenshots. That's a fair point. I don't think that. Well, I'm actually not sure. All right, we have TBLT did make a push pretty high there to 278. Really, still nothing for profits on that. So we don't really want to take any chances playing it. Nexi here could be good. I think that we should probably try and take another Nexi trade just to get some shares. 214, we'll go for 220 here, and then a 210 stop loss. If you can get in lower, even better. Run up 4 cents stop. All right, so it looks like we could get in about 210 right now, but I think we might even be able to get lower. And honestly, probably. I mean, I'd like to get in 205. If we could get like 205 or better, I would stretch the stop loss past that VWAP line. USDA down. EVTL went back up to VWAP line. Looks like it, I don't know, to me this looks like it's definitely not going to break through that yet. It's going to come back down to that 345 level. We could take another entry here at 345. EVTL, 345. We're going to go for 370 and then a 3. We'll go for a 3. I don't know. 340 seems like a fairly safe stop. And that's EVTL. We're hoping for 345 anyway. I mean, if you have to get it a couple cents higher and just have that 340 stop, that's fine too. We're leaving ourselves a little bit of room for error here, but we're jumping. We look like we can get in here, so I'm going to jump in 344, 343. Wherever we get in here. Wow, that was a big drop. Yeah, well, it happened again today. I'm in at 335, I guess, so that makes stop loss. I don't know, put 330? I don't know. Wait, what did I get in at? Yeah, 335. I don't know. 327 I'll put the stop at. We'll see what happens. I don't really want to drop further than that. I wasn't expecting to get in so low, so that kind of threw me off, but we'll see. We'll see what happened here. Maybe we'll get some sort of recovery out of it. Still within the 10-cent rule, 327, but was not expecting a drop like that. We did see it recover back up to that 340 area. Not really a lot in profit, but we did make a mistake jumping in like this, so you might want to get out at break even or better if you can. ES with a drop or a climb? Climb, wow, yeah, no kidding. Nexi looking pretty good at this level. We are seeing it hit that 215 area. EVTL not looking fantastic. We haven't hit stop yet. We might be able to make a couple cents off this. Sometimes mistakes are good things. QTED looks like it did drop. It actually opened up really, really low, back down at 540. It's starting to make its climb back up, but I really don't think I want to touch that. FRBK is really nothing special either, but we do have actually one other one popping up, NCPL, we can take a look at. Keeping an eye on EVTL here. NCPL's doesn't have anything going on. TBLT not really doing anything. UCA not doing much. EVTL really just scares me. It's just scared me how low this is sitting, and it's not really recovering. I think we're probably gonna hit stop here. I don't know. If we start to see this drop back down to the low, we'll probably cut early. Because I'm expecting that we're gonna get recovery here. Nice. 8 monitors. That's the dream. I'm just expecting that if I put in more stuff in my computer or anything like that, I would end up blowing it. I'd blow a circuit easy, especially with the size monitors I have and all that kind of stuff. Just not definitely not a good idea to have more of them. I'd also have to get my second GPU working again if I wanted to add more monitors. Nexi down to 210 here. UC not really moving too much. I'm on IBKR. Yeah, TWS. Somebody mentioned Quant Tower is decent. I've been meaning to try that one because it looks good. I also want to open up a Trade Zero account because they're pretty good in Canada and they're good for shorting. So I kind of want to do that. I've been kind of lazy with it because I've just been so like consumed by futures trading in the afternoon that I haven't really had extra time to set anything like that up. So it's kind of like a give and take right there. So for right now, I haven't really bothered with changing the software, and I'm not a huge fan of TWS, but it gets the job done. It's nothing fancy, that's for sure. Nexi down to 205. That's where I wanted to be. So jumping in there, jumping into Nexi 205 with $1.98 SL. It's about 7 cents. It's a little more than we should take for a stop, but not by much, so it's okay. And I don't think it'd hold it that far. It would have to look pretty bad to hit that low. But I really want that 205 entry, and I was really patient for it. So let's hope this pays off. Bands are tight. It is just crossing negative on MACD, so that's kind of the downside to it, but we'll see. We're at 344 here at EBTL, so I'm going to go ahead and cutting most of EBTL 344-ish. Not really much for profits. They almost made 10 cents out of it. But I do think that this is looking more like a recovery. We're seeing a lot of downward pressure. Obviously, people are a little shaken up by the massive drop it just took. Luckily, we were just kind of on the right side of that by accident. So hopefully we start to see this move back up now. But in case it doesn't, we did secure at least a little bit there. And CPL not really doing a whole lot. We have USEA here. Also not really looking too fantastic, but it's going okay. Yeah, it's definitely 90s. They definitely need to update their system. TWS is ancient. And that's one thing I don't like about it. And it's sad because when you go to Ninja Trader feels like an upgrade. Even though it's definitely not fancy software by any means either. But it definitely feels like an upgrade, just how fluid everything is and how easy it is to use compared to TWS. TWS is such a pain until you have it set up correctly anyway. And then you have to maintain it. You change anything, you want backup files so that you can change it back if something goes wrong. Otherwise, you're back in square one. We're seeing ES all over the place here. It looks like we're seeing a drop and then a huge spike. Back to dropping. Nexi still holding that 3.5 area. We just see it drop down to 203 at one point. Oh, there we go. There's the big drop. 201. Nope, absolutely no good guides out there. I can almost guarantee that someone might have found one. I have yet to find a good guide. It's a complicated software. Everybody's got a different way of trading, so you need different tools. TBLT just with a massive spike there. Just went from like 280 to 294, breaking into a new high market open. Looking pretty good there, but we're not in it, unfortunately, and I really don't want to get it that high. But yeah, there's really, honestly... Yeah, we are getting into Nexi. Yeah, if you didn't get in around 205, you could definitely get in around here. I wouldn't really have your stop loss much lower than $1.98. I really don't think it's worth following it down any further. We're hoping that Nexi starts to pick back up from here and start to move back up. But yeah, when it comes to day trading and IBKR, it's complicated because everybody trades differently, so they're gonna have different hotkeys. The layout's gonna look completely different for some people. Some people like complication and tons of screens and all this like information in their face, where I don't. I literally have like right now I just have ChartRater open. And sometimes I have the portfolio page open so that I can see if I have open positions. But usually I can manage my open positions pretty well, so I don't really need to. But some people have like 4 screens just for TWS. Well, looks like we are seeing that drop on Nexi here into stop. So we're going to take that stop on it. We'll see. Let's see. EVTL breaks down completely, so we're going to stop out on the runner there. USEA looks like this is something that could potentially take off here. I'm going to buy back into USEA. I'm going to be looking for an entry at about 513. And then maybe a 560 PT, and then just a 495 stop. So we're going to give it a fairly tight stop because we don't really need too much room. We're basically looking to see confirmation of a breakout or breakdown because we are consolidating right now. So whichever confirmation we get first. TVLT at $3. Could not even make that up. The stock literally dropped, did nothing for 20 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes, and shot up. Looks like UCA here is looking to potentially do something. Probably break out. Obviously, that's what I think. That's why I'm going long on it. Whether or not it's going to break that new high, that is the question. Nexi continues its breakdown just little bit by little bit. At some point, we had like a half-built guide on IBKR on how to set up your account. I think that's about as far as anyone got with the guide. Personally, I think with TWS, you just have to kind of sit there and experiment. Definitely on a paper account until you have something set up the way you like it. Like we have layout files. I think I have a layout file, and I think Shade has a layout file. So if you needed, like, I don't know, a starting point, you could use it, but it's probably not going to be the best scenario for you just to straight up just use one of them because you're not going to really know what's going on or anything. You see it just took off. We just saw that high day again at 555. That's definitely high day, so we need to break through that. But we could definitely take some profits there because we're about 30 cents up at least. Take some profits. You see 550-ish. Just trade 50% of your portfolio as a default. Well, you can't necessarily just use the 50%. We're at almost 570 now. Could take a little bit more profit there if you wanted to. You can't necessarily just trade 50% of your portfolio with the button because when you do that, it's trading 50% of the available money, right? So you kind of have to find a way to get that to not do that if you want to use just it straight up like 50% of your portfolio. That's the trick, right? Because if you use 50% of your portfolio on one trade, then you go to open up a second trade. Technically, you're trading at 25% of your portfolio on that second trade. So it's easier just to math it out in your head. Well, not really easier, but I mean, yeah, it is easier because the other way around just doesn't really work. 588, definitely a good place to take some profits. I'm going to take some more profits around this 590 mark. Taking some more profits. You see about about $6. There's room here. We almost hit 620 there, so wherever you see the profit you want to take. Can't believe we're at 620 on this already. Um, yeah, just take profits. We're up a whole dollar on this again. We started around 520 and now we're at 620. That's nuts. Do you use it on premium? On like TradingView, you have a 30-day trial? I didn't even know they did trial. Yeah, I do have pretty good math powers when it comes to stocks. Um, 30-day trial for TV to use it on premium. I'm not really sure what that means. What do you mean use it on premium? Like, does it give you an option of what level you want to use? Oh, gotcha. I don't think you need premium. I mean, other people probably have a different opinion, but I think I'm on Pro Plus. And I think that's it. What did we hit there? We went all the way up to almost just about touch 630 there on USEA. Amount. Amount is definitely easier than shares. But I think you also then if you're going to do it like that, you need to go on the IBKR website, and I think you have to turn off fractional shares. Otherwise, stuff just stops working. That's part of the experimentation part. Is I don't even honestly remember how I have mine set up. I just know how to use it the way it's currently set up, so that's all I do. Which is kind of why I was looking to get into maybe Trade Zero and see how um, their software operates, because I can't it can't be more complicated. It can only be easier. That's for sure. Yeah, and I don't know. I think as far as the Trading View thing goes, I have Pro Plus, and I don't think I need to upgrade at all ever. I think we have a couple people on Premium. I think if you want charts by the second, you need Premium. I've never used charts by the second though, so yeah. Did he downgrade? I would say if you could get Premium at a really good sale, like Pro Plus price, then I would definitely go for it. Also, Yuki, if you're going to sign up, make sure you use our referral link in. I can't even honestly remember where it is. Oh, partner trading software. It's in there. I think it's in there. Let's see. Yeah, it's in there. Yeah, anything that you guys purchase, if there's a tool, make sure you check that section first, because we have deals with a lot of these software developers, so that if you guys use those links, technically it's supposed to be a referral, but we just donate the money, because the companies themselves won't just accept that we want them to donate our portion of it, so they make us take it, I guess because it's a tax burden on them or something, and then we donate it, even though that technically would help their taxes. I don't know. I don't know how they just like no company will do it for us. They make us do it, which is kind of weird, but it is what it is. Fourth, it's at 6:30 now. We're at 6:35. Yeah, we could be looking at taking some more profits here. I think we're gonna hold this runner up a little bit higher. Good time to enter Nexi. It's looking better. Yeah, it's definitely looking like a textbook curl up here. It is above VWAP right now. Yeah, I'd buy in if you can a little bit lower, maybe like 205, 204, but I'm not sure you'll get that right now. My God, we're at 660, 680. I think I'm going to take some more profits here on UCA because we're up another like 50, 60 cents. Taking profits here on UCA again, 680, and leaving a small runner. That was a nutty climb, and I do think that we could see up to $7 out of this. I think that's definitely doable, but I don't want to be holding on to too much at this point because we are so high up again. Rhino, is there a crocodile on UCA here? I bet there is. So let's turn that on for a second. It gave an eagle signal, and I think that's a downward signal, but it shot up another almost another dollar before it even looks like it's going to come down. But I would assume now it's coming down for sure. Rhino is good. Rhino means it's going up. But you know what? We're sitting with low volume, so I'm not actually too convinced on that. Nexi's looking good. EVTL is definitely coming down. If you're able to short USEA, that would be definitely an opportunity to short, I would say. Could probably get it back down to about probably like 620 at least. Whoever did what last time? What did I do? Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. You're not even in the room. Who's, what? Can I move? Oh, I see. Did that work? I don't think that worked. I think I messed it up. Oh, you're in? Okay, cool. I don't see your name there though on the list, which oh, never mind. Yeah, you're there. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to talk to KSauce and figure out why it's doing that. Because you still have, yeah, you're obviously still a member and you have the proper roles, so you should be able to do it. Weird. Yeah, no idea. No, I don't think you can ban from a channel. I think you can only ban from like the server. I don't know. I can check though. I maybe I can check. Server mute, server deafen, roles, no. Well, maybe it's in roles. We have so many rules. Holy crap. I'll go through it later. I don't know. Maybe we can. We'll see. Looks like our runner's safe for now. We're back up to that 680 mark on UCA here. We made lots of money on UCA, I think, today. What are we at? We must be up at least 100% here. Wow, we're not at 100%. We're at 87%. We're actually 0.5% better than yesterday. That's it. But we took a lot less stop outs, which is also better. So kind of happy about that. Although, you know what? If you see it can climb to $7 here, maybe if we get $8 out of it in the next 10 minutes. Honestly, maybe they just changed their settings like a month or two ago, so I honestly haven't even logged in since they changed it. I think I logged in once and I was trying to find where the settings were, and they changed even where you could even find the settings on it. So, um, I'm not actually sure anymore, but I'll have to go check it out and see. Next, he hit 212. Yeah, not looking too bad there. I think it's due to come back down a little bit now. Nice crocodile there on ES. Took a drop from 3845 down to 3836, so almost a 10-point drop. You only managed to lose 20 bucks on it. Well, that's good because that was a nasty drop. I think it's got no volume and really nothing worth playing. And if you look at yesterday, kind of tells you the same story. We had a lot of volume for the first little while, and then it kind of died out and wasn't really worth playing at all. So I think it's probably gonna do the same thing. Oh yeah, maybe it's because you're trying to join on mobile. That could be it. I don't know why that would be it, but it could be. Hmm. Weird. Yeah, I actually have no idea why that would just randomly stop working, but we do have scenarios like that. We're having them farther and fewer between now that we have so many mods that work for us, especially we have like two or three that have skills with IT and developing and stuff. So I was just I think we've been having less issues with it, but I can talk to them and see if there would be a specific reason you can't join now all of a sudden. Because I'm not seeing anything in your permissions. Unless you're specifically banned from the channel, if we go to where do I go? Well, I don't think I can edit the channel while people are in. Oh yeah, I can. No, it looks like you're not like on the ban list or the no-fly zone or anything, so I'm not actually sure. Maybe it's bad luck. Yeah, could be. I really don't know what it would be, but yeah, I'll shoot a message in our staff chat later and see if someone else can figure it out because I'm definitely not the techiest guy. Yes, have you tried turning it off and back on again? Sometimes my car is like that. The system in it that connects to the phone, it gets really buggy and it won't connect, and then you actually have to turn the car off and back on and just like reset the software. Super annoying. Like as if you can just randomly. I don't know. I'm one of those people that once I get in the car, I immediately start driving. Like I don't even wait for Kim to put on her seatbelt. I'm like already going. So like to have to stop and turn the car off and turn it back on and then go again to get my phone to connect annoys the shit out of me. Yeah, you see us like really high up there. Yeah, we still have a runner in it. It hasn't really broken into a new high here, but if it does, I'd be pretty excited to see how high this thing can go today. We have a very small amount in UCA right now. I think it's 5%. Yeah, I'm keeping that as a stop. I don't generally move my stops up unless I'm not really watching the stock. If I had like three or four other things on the go right now, I would probably move the stop up, but because I'm only watching this specific stock, there's really no point. I'll just choose when to cut. But if you're new or you have poor impulse control, sometimes it's better to move that stop up because as you watch it drop, you're just constantly thinking, oh, it'll turn around, it'll turn around, it'll turn around. And then before you know it, you're all the way back at the bottom. Yeah. What car is it? It is a 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee Overland. It's okay. I like the airlift in it, so you can change. It's got like a built-in like movable lift kit is how I would explain it. Like you have a lever in the car and you can move the car up and down. It's pretty cool. You see it with a nasty drop. I say lever, it's more of a button though. It's like a little toggle switch. Yeah, it does have a lot of levers in it. And actually, I was letting air out of the tires yesterday, and Kim had the car on, and she was watching the gauges in the car for the tires or whatever. And I was doing it in one of the front tires, and the car honked, and I was like, "What the fuck? Why are you honking at me?" I'm like, "That like blew my eardrum, like right in front of the car." And she's like, "I didn't honk." And then I went to the next tire, and I was putting air out or letting air out, and it honked again. And I was like, "Is the car honking itself?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's honking itself." Well, sure as shit. This car literally, when you're letting air out, it lets you know when to stop letting air out. Well, like this is the first car I've ever had that does that, and I've had some pretty like fancy cars. I think that's just the weirdest. Like, who thinks of that to add that as a feature in a car? It is. It's honking itself. Like it lets you know. It's like, okay, stop letting air out now. I guess because the heat causes the pressure in the tire to expand. So it's supposed to be like 36 psi, and it was at like 41 or something. So I was like, I'll just let a little bit of air out. I would have to say it's this one. Because I can actually fit in it. If you get into like something like a Aventador or anything like that, like if you're over 6 feet tall, you just can't really fit in it. And also, it's kind of uncomfortable to try and basically climb off the ground to get out of the car. And this one also has massaging seats, which is pretty nice. And it's also not $400,000. It's only like, I think it was 100. What indicators do I have on right now? The list is here. I've got Bollinger Bands, VWAP 14, VWAP, regular VWAP, and EMA 200, and then I have MACD. I don't really use VWAP 14 too often. It's basically a 9 EMA. If you turn the 9 EMA and the VWAP 14 on, it looks basically the same. I kind of turn these off in a bear market because they're not super useful. They're better in a bull market. They kind of give you false signals in a bear market. So I just use the stronger 200 EMA and VWAP. We're basically done trading. I don't think anything's going anywhere. We could probably cut our runner on USEA. This is not looking favorable for us anymore. I really don't think it's going to shoot up out of nowhere in the next 5 minutes or 2 minutes or whatever it is. I do think it'll eventually go up, but not today or not right now. We officially, yeah, we ended about 4% higher or 0.5% higher than yesterday. And on the money board, that actually translates to almost $1,000 more. So that actually, yeah, it paid out pretty good. We're almost at 9,000. Well, we're basically at $9,000 here, which is pretty good for where we are in the challenge. I think we're about halfway through, and if we're hitting this, we're definitely. I'm feeling pretty confident we're gonna hit 50,000, unless something goes absolutely terribly wrong. We'll hit 50,000 by the end of the month, and our win rate did move up a little bit. We're at 65.8. Man, it is hard to get up once you have a couple days with big losses, like, or not big losses, just lots of small ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses that day. 3 losses that day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses that day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losses that day. Yeah, we had a couple rough days in the beginning and definitely set our win rate behind, but our actual account status is looking pretty good regardless of that. Our subs have been small, so 65% is pretty good with that, but I'd still like to get that up to about 70% by the end of the month, at least. But besides that, we're out of time for the day. Hopefully y'all made some money. Nexi crashed. Yeah, Nexi crashed hard. EVTL could make a push. UCA definitely has the possibility that could be making a push. TBLT's been picking up volume here recently. There was a good play off the 200 EMA. Honestly, wasn't even watching the stock. But there's definitely plays to be had with TBLT as well. QRTEB wouldn't bother playing it. NCPL definitely wouldn't bother playing it. Really nothing new popping up. There's LGHL. Take a look at that quickly. Yeah, I wouldn't say to play that either. That one's not looking fantastic either. So, yeah, if you're going to keep playing USEA, EVTL, TBLT, and maybe Nexi if it recovers off the 200, which doesn't look like it is quite yet, but it might. But yeah, besides that, I will see you guys tomorrow. Hey, do we have our meeting today? Or is that tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow. I can never remember. Let's take a look. Oh, wrong chat. On the 12th, we had a meeting, and the 12th was... No, okay, that doesn't make sense. 8th. That was a Friday. So yeah, our meeting is in fact tomorrow. So I will see you guys tomorrow, and I will see the rest of you next week. Take care, guys.